Hey guys, welcome to my first video, and today we're going to start off with something strong in the anime community with the beloved anime known as Natsuno no Taizai, or in English terms, the 7 Deadly Sins. So in this part of the video, the first half of the video, I'm going to get into the nitty gritty of what happened, why the animation was so poor, and what caused this to happen, and what we should expect from the next season. Now, I don't really know what kind of videos you guys want me to do, so with this being my first video, I figured I'd do something that's been on my mind for a while, but I beg you guys to go leave comments down in the description below, and if it's something reasonable, I'll attempt to do it. So anyways guys, let's get right into the video. Now, the original studio that ever animated 7 Deadly Sins, including the first 2 seasons along with the movie, was actually A1 Studios, a studio that had beautiful animation, animating anime such as Blue Exorcist and many more. It turns out they actually abandoned the 7 Deadly Sins to continue working on Sword Art Online along with Fate. The Fate series is an anime that's very well known along with Sword Art Online. And the movie really tanked over in Japan, not even being in the top 10 for the movies they released. So A1 Pictures decided to pass this off to one of the worst animation companies known in Japan. This studio is known as Studio Dean. They've worked on anime such as Konosuba, which is very loved by many people, but you must admit the animation most of the time is subpar, even in the movie, which they hit a pretty decent budget on. And what really screws the pooch here is they took on the new season of 7 Deadly Sins with a lot on their plate, animating a few more animes such as Digimon Hunter and Fairy Tail. And the sad part about this is the 7 Deadly Sins final season also belongs to this studio. Even though they have a few more months to work on it, I really doubt we'll see any improvement. 24 episodes is a lot of animation to do, considering every anime episode is about 2,000 pictures put into motion. So if you do the math, you get 24 episodes times 2,000, so they had to draw about 28,000 pictures of this anime in a little over a year, which may sound like it's a decent amount of time, but apparently it's really not. But I guess I do have some good news because the 4th season's not really that rushed compared to the 3rd season. Of course, the 3rd season got maybe over a year, maybe even a little less than a year to work. I can't really even find the information on the internet. This season had some pretty good fights, with that being like, you know, King and Deanne and Gowther versus Chandler, and, you know, I don't know, Escanor versus Meliodas in the Perfect Cube, and these fights got some pretty subpar animation. But I must say, even though the animation at the end of the season wasn't that good, it was definitely quite a bit better than what it was in the beginning to the middle. I guess now that we're past this point, we should really get into the information about this 4th season for Japan and this 5th season for Netflix. And, you know, they have a lot more time to work on this. Now, they're not a good animation company, so we can't expect A1 Pictures level animation, but I think we can expect some decent animation. Now, this 4th season's pretty fight heavy. We got a few fights that I don't really want to spoil from the manga, but all I'm going to say is Meliodas and Bon are in Purgatory. Bon's going to come back from Purgatory, and Meliodas is going to get his memory back. That's about all I'm going to go into detail-wise. But I can confirm this is sadly going to be the final season of one of my favorite animes of all time, even though I had a pretty lackluster 3rd season. I hope we can finish this one out strong. And if it's not that good, then I'll just be glad I read the manga before I watched this anime, because I was pretty satisfied with the ending of the manga, even though there were some pretty crappy points. But you know, I think every manga or anime series always has those crappy points where it sucks, but we gotta deal with it because it's canon. Now, we can expect this anime to come back in January, and that's for the subtitle people that, you know, like to watch it as it comes out on a weekly basis. And we don't really know when it's going to come out on Netflix, but it's going to come out on Netflix because they got to get their money's worth out of the show. Because I'm going to tell you what, this 3rd season probably tanked. Now, I'm going to get into my personal opinion, and I'm going to do a lot of comparisons of this show with Dragon Ball Super, because they both had pretty subpar animation, and, you know, these are both animes I've watched all the way through at least a couple times. Once again, Dragon Ball Super went into the same spectrum as 7 Deadly Sins. They didn't do studio swap, but they were still pretty rushed. After the success of Battle of the Gods movie and the Resurrection F movie, people wanted Dragon Ball back. Then Dragon Ball Super was announced, and they ran out of time. It's as simple as that, because they're working on this anime called Toriko. Now, I've never watched Toriko, I just checked up actually how to say it. I'm sorry if I butchered it the first time, but from what I understand, Toei Animation, the show tanked, and they needed something to bring back, and they brought back Dragon Ball. Obviously, it was a cash grab, because whether it sucked or not, people were going to watch it. I think what happened with A1 Studios here is they saw an easy project for easy money, and they kind of overestimated themselves, and you know what, we got the project of what we saw from Overestimation. The animation was almost unbearable in my opinion. I found myself skipping a lot of episodes that weren't important. I watched Dragon Ball Super maybe twice through, at least the important episodes twice through, but I've watched every single episode. And, you know, I have friends that watch Dragon Ball, and whenever I found bad frames, I would pause it, screenshot it, and we just make fun of it. But the thing with Seven Deadly Sins is, I didn't laugh, I was just more disappointed because I held Seven Deadly Sins at a higher stance than Dragon Ball. I watched Dragon Ball after I watched the Seven Deadly Sins. The Seven Deadly Sins actually gave me this big drive to watch anime. This is the first anime I ever binge watched, and I've only binge watched a few. That's Kill la Kill and Tokyo Ghoul and Demon Slayer, and then the Seven Deadly Sins. It's only 4 anime, and I've watched quite a lot. I didn't even plan on making a YouTube channel until I watched this new season of Seven Deadly Sins, and I really just wanted to give my opinions out there because I think a lot of people were disappointed. And to say the most, this almost broke my heart, to be honest. I really love this anime and manga a lot. I mean, this is the only manga I've ever read and plan to read, and you know, I'm trying to read Akame ga Kill because I watched the anime and the ending also sucks, but you know, that's the different story for a different day. I don't get enjoyment out of reading manga. I don't like reading fights. It's like stop motion picture. I like to see those pictures moving. I love to hear some voice acting, you know. But sadly, I'm really glad I read the manga, which is a first. And I know a lot of you manga readers are probably rolling on the floor laughing because, you know, I sound like I just have a really short attention span, and it's not that. It's just I started watching anime and I never read manga, so I just expected something different and never really got that. And this is why, even though if an anime has bad animation, I'll probably watch it because, you know, I really like the anime. The voice acting for the season was outstanding, but the animation was just subpar. And I think even saying it was subpar is just giving it too much credit. It was honestly just terrible. Like, it's unbearable to watch fight scenes. How does a sword look like an oval? How does Meliodas' six-pack look like a bag of marshmallows? Tell me how you focus more on animating tits and ass than you do a fight, which I promise you more men get a hard-on for a badass anime fight than cartoon titties. That's a lie. I get a massive hard-on for cartoon titties. But to be honest, I really just wanted my favorite show to have good animation, and I bared through it the first time I watched it, but watching it again in 1080p English dub just made me want to bash my head in a wall. The voice acting, so good. The animation, so terrible. Even with touch-ups, it sucked. Well, I guess I really got all my points out about this. I mean, I explained why the animation sucked, and I also gave myself a review, and I did a few comparisons with animes that also had terrible animation, but this was honestly just garbage. There was barely any episodes with decent animation, which is insane. This is a high tier anime. Netflix has a lot of regions, you know, to supply stuff with for people to watch, and you know, the Japanese people like anime, but a lot of people in the Western hemisphere do too, hence why they sit there and dub it. So, you know, they paid money for this show, which means they saw this as a really good show. It's not a low tier anime, but it's in a C studio. If you guys don't know what a C studio is, it's like a rating. You got A studios, B studios, C studios, and you probably have everything lower, but C studio is the lowest I've ever heard, and you know what? I'm really pissed off, and I'm gonna be super fucking pissed if there's lower than C, because C is fucking terrible. So anyways, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and hope this gave you some leeway to understand why this season was so badly animated, but all I gotta say is stay tuned for this 4th season, and we'll see how good it is in the first 4 episodes, I guess. That's usually how I base it. I mean, if the first 4 episodes are garbage, I'm not going to keep watching the other 20 because you couldn't even keep me hooked on 4. I forced myself to watch these 4. Anyways, guys, that's all I have for today. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. And, you know, if you guys want to see some more videos, please leave comments. I want to know what you guys want to see because I want to grow this channel and I want to make content for my viewers. I don't want to make content for myself. I want to make stuff for you guys. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Peace.